said, it's nothing better than moving around with a person or being able to execute a technique that they can't even see. You know, it's better than any drug I can ever imagine. So
Now, let me ask you, how much senior is he to you? Was it a generation senior where you had some kind of respect for him? Were you guys pretty close in age?
No. It was tremendous respect. And he actually, what I understood later on in life, he actually showed me tremendous respect, because most teachers would have went on and knocked you out because you just brutalize their students. I mean, sweeping them, stomping them and stuff like that, and turn around and giggling and walking away. Most, you know, they would take that very offensive. So he just touched me. And he would do things throughout my career. Just one other, you know, short story is because I was the most advanced student in school, he would always, you know, whatever technique he would demonstrate on me and hurt me. You know, I'd be doubled over or crying or whatever. So, but we were real close. We would hang out. Like I said, he was truly a father figure to me. And finally, after a couple of years, I'm like, man, Ty, I go, man, if we boys, why do you always embarrass me? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, you always embarrass me. You hit me hard, or you make me fight you in front of everybody. And he goes, you should know better. And he would never answer me. For 2 years, he would never answer me. And finally, I was in tears, like, why do you do this? You know? And he just looked at me, goes, you should know better. I go, no, I don't. Stop being philosophical and just tell me. He goes, I want to put you under so much pressure that if you ever got in a fight, you'd be able to handle it because you've been there before. I was like, damn, can't you just say that? He goes, no, wouldn't mean the same. He goes, I just want to prepare you for life. So if you fight me and you can handle me, then you can handle anyone beneath me or above me. So, I mean, what gift is that?
That's
a tremendous gift.
Yeah. That is incredible. Now, at this time, you're 19 when you first meet him. How many years have you been training martial arts yourself?
Oh my gosh. I started when I was 9, after I seen the movie Enter the Dragon. So Bruce Lee was, you know, just looked up to him and just, I got it when I seen Enter the Dragon. And I was that guy who got bullied, you know what I mean? So from the age of 9, I fought all the way till I won the California championship. So I won the California in '89, and then I went and fought that Sunday and won the California in martial arts. And it was Ty. I said, you know, which one do I do? He goes, you do which one that chose you. Again, philosophical answer. I'm like, come on, just tell me. He goes, which one do you think chose you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm good at both, right? He goes, yeah, you are. He goes, but bodybuilding's chose you. I go, how do you say it? He goes, well, you've been doing this for X amount of years. You just started in bodybuilding. Look how you accelerated. He goes, now, I believe that you will be 10 times better as a martial artist than you ever could be as a bodybuilder. But this will be enough that I think you can beat any bodybuilding champion that you ever lay your eyes on. And he ended up being right about that. So what I like to post those videos because everybody kind of understands how good I was as a bodybuilder, but I'm like, you have no idea.
You're quick.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
I mean,
but
it's unfair watching you, like the other guys. I mean, you know, I have one of our guys, his name is Shihan Alborzi. He's 9th-degree black belt, Iranian guy. In Iran, he is a very, very well-known. He'd go to the Olympics, all this stuff. Now he does, he runs an office with us in Orange County. And I watch his kicks, and I see how fast he is. At his age, he's in his 60s. But then he shows videos from back in the days, and you see quickness. I see your quickness flex. That's why I wonder, like, did you play football, basketball? Were you in all sport?
You sucked at all of them? I was a late bloomer.
Got it.
So, and it was hard because he's not my twin, but he's a year, I think, and like 6 months older than me, but he's just a world-class athlete. I mean, he was the fastest man in the Valley when the West Coast Relays was in Fresno. In 11th grade, he was beating grown men. And on a football field, I just couldn't do nothing with him. You know, he was a running back, got a 4-year scholarship to Fullerton State. So when you're in the shadow of that, you know what I mean, you just don't think you're any good. So, and plus I was a late bloomer. I was short, I had big feet, you know, I would trip over my feet when I'm running and stuff like that. So, yeah, but martial arts is really fit for me, and I just fell in sync with it.
You ever thought about if you go that direction where life would have gone? I mean, let's just say you don't go bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And you play that. Everybody plays it in their mind.
Sure.
Say, what if I stay in the military? Because for me, it was this close of staying in the military for 20 years. I was about to re-enlist. What if I did? I would have gone out 3 years ago. What would life have looked like? Would I have gone and been a sergeant major? What would I have done?
Right.
Where do you go when you go there? Where does your mind take you?
Well, I talked to him about it, and we're still close to this day. And the reason he had said that is back then it was very well known that if you're a martial artist and you're in a movie, you would come out, do a bunch of flamboyant kicks and stuff like that to establish how good you are, and then a star of the show knocks you out with one punch. So back then it was very disrespectful to have someone who couldn't fight, but because they're the star of the show, just one punch. A stupid punch, one of these that you can telegraph,
that's right, yeah.
and they knock you out, and that's it. So, and it was no movie, there was no money involved. So, yeah, now, I mean, it would have been great. I mean, I see some of the great martial artists in movies now, and I'm like, I actually did that stuff in the ring that they were doing on set, where the person knows what they're about to do and is choreographed. I'm like, I did that stuff fighting, so, but you can't go back and what if.
It'll drive you insane.
Yeah. So what I understand is everything that I've been through to get to where I am now helped me to be the person that I am, regardless whether it was good or bad. You take one of those away, then it's a table with 4 legs. You take one away, now it's 3. It's not going to be the same. So I got to embrace all of that, and I do.
So you're obviously a big Bruce Lee guy. I mean, I read your stuff, Bruce Lee everywhere. So if Bruce Lee was on the martial arts side, who was that on the bodybuilding side?
I don't know, because it's so subjective. If we're fighting and I do a technique and you can't stop me, there's no argument about that, right? But if 2 beautiful twin girls walked in the room, like ladies right now, it's about presence, right? It's about presence. So for whatever reason, maybe you're looking at the girl on the right more and I'm looking at the girl on the left more. So what it is the one has presence over the other one. So you don't even give the other one a fair shake. So it's kind of like that on stage. If you walk on stage and you can just feel presence of a person walking in a room, they're already winning, because eyes are going to hit them more. So if it's 5 of us on stage and we only have 10 minutes to display, all of us, and I steal 7 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds, and I steal 7 seconds of that 10, it's not fair for the other 4 people up there. So it's about presence also. So the way I present myself or a pose, or maybe I smile or engage with the crowd, whatever, all that's about presence. So it's subjective, right? Because how can you really say? That's why you have some people say, oh, so-and-so is a champion, or this person's a champion, or this person's the best. But if I do a technique and I just knock you out, that's not subjective.
There's no question about it. There's no question about it.
Since with most sports, though, that are non-combat, right? Kobe's the best. Now Michael Jordan's the best. Now LeBron's the best. It's subjective, because they're not going to get down with each other that way. But in combat sports, it's different. No. I'm talking real combat sports. I'm not talking where it's set up a fight and this, that, and other. I'm talking in its true essence. No, it's no argument in that.
Did you have somebody you looked up to in bodybuilding? Like, was there somebody where you said, Michael Jordan's David Thompson, Ronnie is Lee Haney. You look at some of these guys. Was there anyone for you?
Yeah, I mean, I come from a very humble background, really poor. So my gym that I trained in didn't have many magazines. So I wasn't really brought up knowing who bodybuilders were. I heard of obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I heard of Lee Haney, and then I heard of Sean Ray, and those were the only bodybuilders I heard of. But because coming back from a martial arts background, I understood I can learn from anyone. So it doesn't have to be somebody great. It could be the guy in the gym next door to me that's training. So I just looked up and admired everybody who accelerated in a sport. And I would steal different parts from everyone. If it fits me, I'll take this part from this guy, this part from that guy. So I just really appreciated everybody who just really was able to take it to a different level. And I just tried to emulate whatever I felt that fit in my reservoir. And then I kind of created my own personality and stuff like that. But I learned through the history of other guys and watching them when I competed against them.
Who'd you study the most? Anybody you studied?
I hate to say this, Jesus Christ, Sean Ray. Sean Ray, because
wow,
the elegant way he posed, because we're looked at as Brutus on stage, right? Kind of like the Incredible Hulk, just smash, and he was very elegant on stage, and I like that because I came from a martial arts background, so he was one of the first. But then I learned who he learned from, which he learned from John Brown, and so on. So I then start watching those people compete and stuff like that, and I just always wanted to be the most defined, massive person on stage, but move like smoke in the air, like a ballerina on stage. That was always my goal. look just ungodly muscular, but just be able to move just so fluently and gracefully and stuff like that. So
and you did that though.
I tried.
No, you did that. But what I was always curious about, your posing routines, you would have what? You would do Exhibit, Ice Cube, let me see if I can remember, LL Cool J, you would do Corrupt, you would do all, I'm like, what is he? You would put, and you would have them like a remix go through. Are you an R&B guy? Are you a hip hop guy yourself? Or
I'm everything.
Okay.
So my logic to that, and there was a logic to it, if you go to a rock concert, as soon as the music come on, everybody goes nuts. Nobody's paying attention to nothing. If you go to to listen to a symphony, everybody sits down and be quiet and pays attention. So I considered myself an artist, so that's why the first, we got 3 minutes. So the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I would have slow music because I want people to sit down, be quiet, and I want to display something for you. But I know after a while that gets boring, just like a movie. A movie, it can take you through all these different emotional, but it has to bring you on the up, or else you walk away disenchanted. So I had to turn it up the last 30 seconds to get people hyped, or else they'd be disenchanted, you know what I mean, by just falling asleep or whatever. So that was kind of my logic, and I would always just pick the hottest song at the time. And back then, it was West Coast. They were just really banging out hits. So I wanted people to identify to the music as soon as they heard the first beat, which means they get out of their seat and they go crazy. So that
you would see that. You would see that happening.
Yeah. So
and then you know how to dance, and you know how to,
I don't know how to dance.
Well, I mean, the way it looks like you know what you're doing.
I would do like maybe 2 or 3 movements, and that's it before people figure it out. But no, I'm an introvert. So normally, introverts are extroverts when they're on stage. So I was always uncomfortable on stage, uncomfortable in my skin, but I learned at a young age, if people find out your weaknesses, they'll use them against you. So if I walk out on stage and I'm like, then people are going to dig deeper. Like, what's wrong with this? Oh, I see this, I this. But if I walk out confident and arrogant, they give me a once over and then don't pay attention. Kind of like if I walked into this building and it smelled great,